The world's most endangered marine mammal may be wiped out after the Mexican government announced it may reduce the protection area for the tiny porpoise. Scientists believe there are fewer than 10 vaquita marine porpoises left alive. The tiny vaquita, which means little cow in Spanish, live in only one body of water in the world, the Gulf of California. They reproduce only once every 2 years. Now, one of the rarest animals on the planet, the species is on the verge of extinction. Joining me now is Mark Stevenson, a reporter at the Associated Press Bureau in Mexico City. Mark, welcome. Great to have you with us. So how did this tiny aquatic porpoise become so endangered, and how is its fate connected to another endangered fish that is considered a delicacy in China?
Well, thank you, Tanya. Yeah, the vaquita marina is, of course, a tiny porpoise. So it gets caught in nets that are set in the upper Gulf of California or the Sea of Cortez to catch the totoaba. The totoaba is a fish whose swim bladder is considered a delicacy in China. It's worth thousands of dollars per kilogram. So what Mexico has been trying to do is to set aside a protected area in the upper Gulf and to ban gill nets, to ban totoaba fishing, to save the few remaining vaquitas. The problem is that about a week ago, the Mexican government floated 3 proposals that really could mark the end of the vaquita or the efforts to save the vaquita. They have proposed reducing the protected area because there are so few vaquita left that in some of the protected area, vaquitas haven't been seen in years. They've proposed lifting the endangered species protections for the totoaba because that fish itself is in danger of extinction. And they have revived an old theory that's largely discredited by science, that somehow the decline of the vaquita marina is due to reduced inflows of fresh water from the Colorado River due to increased U.S. use of Colorado River water. The problem with that theory is it's both not true, and it provides a pretext for not doing anything about the real cause of the vaquita near extinction, which is these gill nets, which are set by fishermen to catch totoaba. So lifting the totoaba's protection.
So why?
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but why is the Mexican government now bending to pressure from the fishing industry? I mean, we've seen even on the Sea Shepherd's website that some of these fishing boats have even attacked Sea Shepherd boats that are there trying to protect the vaquita. Why is the government folding to pressure from the fishing industry?
Well, it's been quite clear that the administration of Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador will always sacrifice the environment in the name of development or economic activity. And so he is coming under quite severe pressure from the fishermen who have attacked Sea Shepherd boats, have attacked Mexican marine vessels. And so he's, it appears these rules have not been put in place yet. They're still under discussion, but it appears he is yielding to pressures from Mexican fishermen. Remember that Sea Shepherd, the environmental organization, is one of the only groups that is doing anything to save the vaquita, and what they're doing is withdrawing these nets. They don't directly engage the fishermen, but when they see fishermen setting prohibited gill nets, they'll go and pull those nets out of the water. And in the process of this, the Sea Shepherd boats have been attacked by small fishing boats, which has led to tragic deaths.
So the Sea Shepherd boats are. So the Sea Shepherd boats are essentially just enforcing the rules that are already there. And I'm sorry, you said it led to the death of a fisherman?
Yeah, it was about a month ago when various times in the last few months when Sea Shepherd withdraws these nets, the fishermen get angry and they'll toss objects. They'll toss even gasoline bombs at the Sea Shepherd boats. At this last incident, the fishermen, one a pair of fishermen actually rammed their boat into the Sea Shepherd vessel. Obviously, they were thrown out of the boat. One of the fishermen was pulled out of the water, and he was no longer breathing. Again, so it's a battleground. But the point is that without these protections, there are only 10 or 12 of these vaquita marina porpoises left. Without these protections, we may lose what few we have left.
Right, and clearly the clock is ticking. As you said, fewer than 10 are believed to still be alive. So what can be done? I mean, obviously, international pressure on the Mexican government helps, but for the remaining the remaining porpoises, could they potentially, some be, captured and bred in safety and then re-released into the wild? Is there any possibility of doing something like that? Is there any kind of human intervention that could save this highly endangered species?
Well, the only human intervention that would be worth anything is continuing to pressure the Mexican government to continue the efforts it's carrying on. About 2 years ago, when there were 20 vaquitas left, experts did try to capture them, to breed them in captivity. Captivity for them would be a small floating pen in the same upper Gulf. They captured one. The animal immediately stressed out and died. They captured another. The animal immediately began to show signs of stress, and they released it. And they have come to the conclusion that with so few vaquita left, this is an animal that cannot be bred in captivity. So the only way to save it is to protect it in its own habitat. And that appears to be something the Mexican government is stepping away from.
Well, let's hope that there is enough international pressure that makes the Mexican government step back in the other direction and protect this gorgeous creature. Mark Stevenson, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you very much, Tanya.